What's poppin', people? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm recording this before the video that comes out tomorrow, but we got some future Fridays. That's right. You're getting 2 daily things of terriermon footage from not BT16, BT15 tomorrow, and EX06 today. And by terriermon footage, I lied. I mean Lopmon. Friendship with the White Rabbit over. We are now a big fan of Lopmon and her whimsical ability to do some heinous things to your security. I'm going to turn Lopmon X into a terriermon, so the Digimon Emperor is getting its value because it has forced tricks to Evo in the back. The egg Kakinmon is going to bounce a card from our sources back to hand in order to gain 1 memory, which is going to help us push up just a little bit. But we're in a little bit of an awkward position because we don't know whether to go into the 5 just yet, because it looks like we're missing a 6. So we're going to play the Spadamon, pitch off a rookie, and then we're going to draw 2 off of it. We probably didn't need to push up considering we weren't using the extra memory. Obviously there's the mem setter here, so this allows us to be memory efficient, but Panjamon is going to play a 4-cost green tamer for free. And then its inherit does give rush when things do get played, which means a double typhoon would gain rush, but the double typhoon is going to be played now as the Lopmon is going to find the Susie and an extra Digimon. Going to turn the Mimi sideways because it's now a 5, which means we can use the Lopmon and then Ashpede Lopmon into the Cherubimon, which is going to play out Wendigo. Then we're going to minus... Okay, yeah, there it is. We're going to go into the Flicker Wendigo, which is going to do -6. No, it does -8, but we are +2 thanks to the Tieterludemon, which puts us at 9k. The Flicker is going to pop the Lopmon, which then gets to replay itself because he deleted one of his own Digimon, and then the Wendigo is going to use it to pop the Spadamon, and then swinging the terriermon inherit is -2k, which is going to get the final shrink, which clears off our body. So pushing out kind of was trolling. Going to see the alliance swing through, hit through for 2, and it is going to live the alliance check, of course. And now we're going to pass over with just 1 memory, and then we're going to pass back over. We're kind of cooked here. This was one of those we pushed out when we shouldn't have, and Mr. Trix absolutely is on those sticks, and he is going to be manipulating that memory gauge to make sure that we get cooked into the sun. The rookie's probably not going to push out here. We are just going to swing with the alliance. It's going to be 2 checks. Susie is going to get us to go into a brand new Cherubi, which is going to get to play a brand new Lopmon, which is going to find. We are going to find the Lopmon X. Swing 2 checks is going to hit the Ragnar, but it is 16k 2 checks, so it swings over the Ragnar without dying and overflowing. And then we are just going to continue resolving effects as we are actually going to Alliance Lopmon effect to go into the Cherubi X and swing for game.
Matrix Digivolution.
What's poppin', tamers? We're back with Play Armour once again. A bunch of people ask me why I drink Play Armour, and it's because they sponsor me. Duh. Jokes aside, I actually was drinking Play Armour before all of that, because I actually don't have much of a sweet tooth, and I find a lot of energy drinks to be too sweet, especially a lot of the powder brands. But the no sugar approach for Player Ammo and their focus on more tart, like sour flavors, really suits my palate. The fruit punch is really just fruity and packs a nice kick. The blue raspberry is really, really nice as well, nice and sour, kind of like when you get those slushies. If you want something a little bit on the sweeter side, there's the strawberry lemonade, which is more strawberry than it is lemonade. And they do have the lemon flavors as well. And I can tell you for a fact that the new black cherry flavor goes foolish. Yeah, the way I mix mine is by getting the dry powder in and then getting a little bit of water in and just mixing it around to try and make a slurry. Then I add up to half the bottle and shake it a baby. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we kind of got handled there. And if you like seeing me get cooked and just like the games that we have been cooking, make sure to like and subscribe. And a big thank you to the members that have been supporting us, as I'm going to pass over 2 memory with the Tieterludemon. I'm also going to pass over a big tip of the hat to Justice Josh, our mega level, supporting the channel as an ultimate member as well as a tier 3 on Twitch. This time we're going to go into a Ragnloardmon, but we do have a backup plan. For 1 cost, we're going to go in to put the Spadamon underneath, and we're going to declare an attack. It lets any of our Digimon blitz, basically, and it is going to swing. It is going to pitch the protection using the Ragnloardmon because we do not actually have any DP buffs at all. thanks to using a Spidermon rather than a red source. Needing to drop our cards for absolutely no reason. We do have a pretty weird Digimon in hand, but I can't see if we have the Ragnar. Looks like Trix is going to be figuring out what he wants to do, and he's going to drop the 4-cost Tamer. The Susie is going to on-play and is going to find the Lopmon, bottom deck the other two, and then we're just going to commit a Lopmon? No, we're going to pass over 4 for a Mimi, which feels like a lot because we're going to go to 5 by putting the Rookie out, and then we're going to go into the Ludamon. Going to play the Sparta for 3, which is then going to pitch off a Zuba, which is going to get us the Ragnarlord. So we're going to go into Ragnar for 3 cost, load the Brewer as the top source, which is then going to give us back the 3, so a free Evo into a level 7. So you're going to swing for 2 checks, no security effects whatsoever. That includes Tamers now, not just the option cards like the old Durandamon did. So we do get to kill off a Tamer here, and then we're going to use Inheritance of the Legendary Shield to put a level 4 underneath the Zubamon here to kind of turn it into a Tech Trap. When it would be deleted, you can activate the delay effect, which will let you play out a Digimon from the sources, and of course the on-plays are ignoring what turn it is, so this is going to turn it into a little bomb when it shows up. We're going to use a Mimi going sideways because we do have a level 5 now to get the rehatch. And it looks like we're thinking about HPD. And yeah, we are going to cast the HPD. HPD is going to go into Cherubi X. And Cherubi X is going to play out the Wendigomon. Wendigomon is going to pop the Lopmon. Lopmon is going to then play out. And that's going to get us the chance to go into the Wendigomon off the Susie effect, which is going to pop the Spidermon this time. And we're going to use, when it would leave the field, cracking the delay, which is going to play the Zuba Eaglemon. The Zuba Eaglemon is going to slide under that Ragnar, which is going to blow up a 5k on the way out. So we'll take the Wendigo out in retaliation. Going to swing with Alliance at 17k. He is just going to double check that I have blocker before doing that, because yeah, I am going to let it through because it's going to hit a Crimson Blaze. And we are going to have the Susie play out the Cherubi X. We're going to swing for 2 checks, and then we are just going to swing and go to game 3. That one, pretty cut and dry how that one worked out. We kind of just saw the line, killed them quick, but we did get to see a little bit of back and forth with the use of the delay option, and why you can still run the old Zuba. And why I want to say a massive shout out to our ultimates, the Tommy NT and Tommy Tricks on the Sticks, the ultimate tier celebrating 6 months. Joining them as well is going to be 3 Strike Rule. At the champion tier, we do have Shinikari, Coffee Deus, DHM, Solar Ouroboros, and Seb Bainbridge Coombs getting that bonus content. And as we do see a Lopmon and a Lopmon from Mr. Tricks in the 3rd round, I also want to say a shout out to the rookies, who also go a long way helping support the channel. I know I haven't been shouting you guys out as often as I've been meaning to. I want to say thank you to Bradley Robb, Greatness Beam, and King Fujitoro. We're going to be seeing a Wendigo, which is probably going to be turning this Lopmon into a brand new Lopmon. No, we're going to shoot the Spidermon, and we're going to go into the Panjamon, which is going to play out the Mimi, which finds a lot of value. We're trying to figure out what we do here. Going to pitch back the level 3, which then going to go into the Reuploaded. We don't have the memory to go for the taunt, so what we're going to do is we're going to load the Ragnar that we pitched off of the Spidermon. So now if something bad were to happen to our Reuploaded, we get to float into a free Ragnar. We're going to have the Alliance Lopmon finally move out. Yeah, so he's just double checking to see what is the condition for me getting a free Ragnloardmon that's just going to show up and, you know, do some damage. We're going to suspend the Reuploaded with the terriermon, which can suspend any Digimon. We're going to swing at security. We're going to Alliance, thanks to Lopmon giving it to the Panjamon. So Panjamon, now that it's alliancing. Okay, we're going to go into the KnTElixar. KnTElixar is then going to play out the Lopmon, and then we're going to have the Panja turn into a Cherubi, which is going to play a Wendigo in the back as well. So you'll be scrolling for that Ragnloard. And there's going to be our Durandamon that we were looking for, start of main. We're going to bounce back to hand, so we go to 3. Evolve for 0. So 4 memory would pass the turn here. And because he's on a 5, he's threatening an ace as well. So we have to be careful about not just committing a Durandamon. Not that we have the option to. We're going to play this Spadamon underneath for 1 to get the raw draw, which does find us a second Ragnar. Gonna go for a 2-cost Evo in the back for Terriermon, and we do not find what we're looking for. We are going to go into the Briware. Briware top 3 is going to find top 3. It does find a Briware, but obviously can only play 7 cost or fewer, and it looks like we're going to play the Zubamon, because that way if we had to load anything underneath it, it would get drawn. But I mean, it's just going to get shrinked by the Terraria, so maybe we should have tried to go... Maybe we should have tried to go into the Zubamon. We're going to give double alliance to the Antilamon because he's going to use the Lopmon to give it to Antila, who naturally has alliance herself. And we're going to double Typhoons. We do find an ace, so that is revealed, and there's going to be HPD on the Lopmon. Lopmon is going to play, it will go into the Cherubimon thanks to that Ash Pede. And that should be the pop onto the Zubamon. Alright, yeah, we get a draw first, then we are going to pop the Zubamons. And interestingly, this stack right now does not have blocker, so these alliance checks are going to be doming. There's going to be the Wendigo. In the back, we go into Cherubi X, double Cherubi X. It's funny, I looked across at the other board and I looked back and suddenly both the Cherubis had taken their flu jab. And that is going to be all 3 checks at security, so we are going to have to block this now. And then we're going to use the Ragnloardmon effects to prevent it getting deleted. So what we actually, like in hindsight, what we could have done here is we could have cracked the awakening of the golden, or whatever, inheritance of the shield here to play out the Ragnar, and then prevented the deletion with the Raiji in order to just get a sack burn. And it would have also been another body that threatens the board, but instead we just hit a Crimson Blaze and get rewarded. So we are still going to get that second check through from the Alliance, but we do still get a board clear, and he has to go for a boost here rather than go for a Typhoon or anything like that. Alright, we're going to raise out, start a main, pop back to hand, start a main, pop back to hand. So we're going to gain 2 memory, and we're going to go up to 4. Alright, where do we go from here? Yeah, I think having the Ragnar would be nice for just being able to threaten extra damage. But it also means he theoretically could have tried to swing through the Reuploaded because we would have lost the protection. Alright, so we do get the clear for 1 of them thanks to the DP buff, and then we're going to go onto the Zubamon. Zubamon is going to, not Zubamon, Spadamon even, going to pitch the Juramon to draw 2. And we are so back. We do find the Raijulu, well, we find the Durandamon, start of main. We are going to force it to swing. We're going to delete the Spadamon whilst doing so, and we are going to combine the legendary sword and shield into Ragnloardmon Ace, which is going to get the Digivolve. And I'm stupid. I was so confused by there not being blocker that I was like, oh, we just lose the game right there, and then we go back and read the card. It actually... Yeah, it actually does delete. Yeah, it was, we are stupid. So we're just going to quickly roll that back. But I was so baffled. We were both so baffled that it was just like a, hey, yeah, Lamau. But you know, that is a whole ass level 7. It has raid, reboot. Right now it does not have blocker, but it does have protection against opponent's Digimon effects. And because it did the funny blast evo, it's invincible for this turn. Alright, we're going to see the Suchong. And because he's choked me to 1, and we don't have anything in sources, it makes things a little bit awkward. Going to take a DP boost back to the hand. Going to get the Ludomon. We're going to put a blocker. We're going to give it blocker thanks to loading it with a source, and it's going to gain the +2 plus an extra 2. Annoyingly, I did not have my memory markers from Conquest Collectibles, but it is what it is. I'm going to slap a Digimon Emperor here just to force him to take the L on the memory. Has to push out, is going to lose 2, but then it's just going to boost back to where he was at. Then going to crack the Typhoon in order to play the Lopmon, and then Lopmon is going to find the KnTElixar. I mean, we're still on 3, so he's actually still set up quite well. Gonna go into Ture, and we're gonna suspend his own Digimon, and then Suzy is gonna see that and then turn Ture into KnTElixar, and then KnTElixar could try and go for an alliance here, but it would get blocked because the Terriermon is +2/+2, so it's 8k. Obviously, alliance. I mean, obviously it would be over it thanks to the shrink, but it's still like you're asking to get swung over. So we're just going to go for a 2-ray here, and he's going to pass us 2. We're going to push out, we're going to gain 1 memory, and then we are going to gain another memory from taking out the protection here. And this is where a colossal mistake is going to be made. We're going to spend 2 in order to gain sec +1, and we had 2 extra memory. We're going to get the Digivolve, but we should have given us the extra +2. He's going to shrink off 1 body here, and because we are now going to crash and die thanks to the raid, we have to do inheritance in order to get out the Ragnar to get the burn, but that should have been double burn, check 1, thanks to the 2/5 inherits, and it would have been the piercing, and we would have swung over it for game. But because we have made that mistake, Trix is going to just annihilate the board, get everything we need, and he is going to swing and swing. If you liked what you saw and are looking very, very forward to the end of June, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Get me over 2,000 by the end of the week, and as always, much love and have yourselves a damn good one.